The plumber's voice shook through the receiver. "Sir, you need to come home. What I found is horrifying." He didn't explain, wouldn't. His silence was worse than words. By the time I pulled into the driveway, his truck was running, headlights dimming in the late afternoon. He stood on the porch, pale, arms folded tight like he was afraid the house itself might reach for him. "There's something behind the walls," he said, eyes fixed on the siding. He refused to go back in. The air inside felt different, thick, chemical, sour. I followed the trail of his dust until I found the hole. My hand shook only once when I raised the flashlight. Not pipes, not wires, photographs. Stacks of them, pressed between studs, sealed like time capsules. My wife's face in almost every one. Her mouth against men I didn't know. Smiling, holding, tangled in sheets that weren't ours. My face too, smaller stacks, fewer smiles. And my son's. But it was the strangers' faces, dozens of them, that bled through me like ice. A shrine, hidden inside my own walls. The house had been whispering all along. I just hadn't listened. I told myself it couldn't be real, that maybe it was some twisted mistake. But the details were undeniable. Dates scrawled in her handwriting, hotel receipts tucked inside envelopes, letters pressed flat like pressed flowers. Every piece placed carefully, not abandoned, curated. I sat on the basement floor, holding pieces of her life I had never touched. A marriage dismantled and archived. Infidelity was one thing, but this was something else. Ritual. Why hide it here? Unless secrecy was part of the thrill. Unless the house itself was complicit, its bones a vault for her betrayals. My chest ached. Rage clawed at me, begging to be unleashed. But rage is loud, and loud men lose. I couldn't afford to lose, not now. That night, I smiled at her as though nothing had shifted, kissed her cheek when she walked in from her sister's. She didn't notice the drywall dust under my nails. Over the next week, I mapped her life. Phone records, numbers she thought erased, hotel keycards buried in an old purse, credit statements with missing hours, missing stories. And then, the test. I swabbed my son's toothbrush when she wasn't looking, sent it off under a false name. Waiting hollowed me. Days bled into nights. I became two people, the husband she thought she had, and the man peeling back her lies, strand by strand. Every smile I gave her was counterfeit, every laugh rehearsed. But inside, I was sharpening. The truth was circling, and I knew when it struck, it would tear me open. The envelope was plain, white, heavy. I opened it at the kitchen table, read once, twice, 3 times. My son, not mine. I folded the paper clean, slid it back into the envelope, and waited. She came home humming, grocery bags rustling against her leg. I placed the envelope on the counter. "What's this?" she asked, still smiling. "Open it." She did. The bag slipped. Apples rolled across the tile. Her smile collapsed into something skeletal. "I can explain." "No." My voice was stone. "You can't." Her face cracked. Tears, excuses, frantic hands reaching for me. I didn't move, didn't blink. The truth had done the work for me. The next morning, I packed a single suitcase. One. She followed me through the house, pleading, breaking. She dropped to her knees on the kitchen floor. I set the keys on the counter. "You built your life here," I said. "Now, you can live in it, with the ghosts you nailed into the walls." Her sobs clung to me as I stepped outside. I didn't look back. Let her explain it to herself, to our son, to the strangers who would fill the empty spaces I left behind. My revenge was precise, surgical. I took nothing but the truth. I left her with everything else. I drove until the city was a blur in the mirror. The house, the shrine, her lies, all dissolving behind me. I felt no triumph, no grief, just silence. She would crumble under the weight of her secrets. She would choke on them, year after year, inside that house filled with faces she thought she buried. And she would never forget the moment I didn't scream, didn't fight, didn't stay. Silence is sharper. As for me, I no longer belonged to her, or the boy who was never mine. The truth had cut me loose, and what was left was freedom. I walked away with nothing but the truth, cold, merciless, and mine alone.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.